we have here the map draft for our rematch: T-Bird versus TomBombadil, not Mia's Co one. He just never renamed himself from the default name. Last map picked was Mega Random, or the last map of the two that were left at the end. So that's the first thing we'll be
Oh,
playing
oh
of
boy.
our match. And after that, if Tom Bombadil loses, we will end up on Nomad for the second game. If I lose the first match, we'll end up on Ghost Lake, and we'll take it from there. So obviously, I'm out here banning Amazon Tunnel and Black Forest first for I think I think that's pretty obvious. I don't have to explain myself, right? In the casting booth, we have Raven Wolf. So let's get into this game. T-Bird, that's me, by the way, in the pink, in the purple, playing as the Mongols on the south side of the map, and Tom Bombadil in the northeast, playing as Lithuanians in gray. Uh, I haven't changed the colors. You know, a lot of casters, they'll just change it to red and blue, regardless of what players pick. I don't think the audience here is big enough to have to worry too much about color blindness. And also, you can't even do that in Age 4 anyways, because they don't have the technology to do it in 3D. But let me know if it's ever hard to see. We can change player colors. But for the time being, I think pink and gray are not terrible. So this is mega random. Let me know if the audio balance is good. I don't know. We have a crazy generation here.
I was gonna say you guys have a lot of resources readily available for you guys, and you're in pretty close proximity to one another as well.
Yeah, the triple gold at the base, double stone, big stones, at least 4 on each. Not quite as much wood, but it's a lot of res. Not something I really thought about while playing, but I guess you kind of just autopilot, go to the next one, go to the next one sometimes. I have actually seen this mega random gen before. I don't know, maybe it was in a T90 video that I watched, but that definitely will help with knowing how the map might optimally be played. You never know. We got Tom Bombadil saying, Pig City.
No kidding. I was gonna say there were a lot of pigs for you guys to take advantage of very early on. Tyler? I'm curious. Why do you have your pigs grouped up on the left side there? Is it just for making sure they don't get in the way, making sure your villagers don't?
Yeah, this is I would say a try hard low elo move. It's not a low elo move because a lot of people when they're starting the game will just leave everything under the TC and let your villagers go crazy with it.
That was a nice move with the villager and the getting the villager to town center before. That was a really nice move.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye out. If you have your hotkey set up, it's pretty easy to just jump in and out of the TC. I got to do it more with like all of the villas so I can shoot the boar more quickly.
And you're starting off the boar right away, so I'm going to assume that you're looking to age up very quickly here rather than stall it out.
So this is a pretty standard timing. Just generally for the boars and whatnot. You go 6 on food, 3 on wood, and then you take the boar and you add 2 more to food, and then you go 4 on berries and back to the food again. I should actually be taking the second boar right now, but there isn't one actually. So that's where the give and take of mega random kind of comes into play. There's only 1 boar, a ton of extra pigs, and some ibex for hunts.
Yeah,
TomBombadil is doing a pretty similar thing. He is waiting on the boar a little bit longer, though. I guess Pig City is still paying dividends.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think just take advantage of the resources you have. And he's already started off on a mill as well as those berries as well. So
yeah, very clean player in gray. He may be slightly rusty. He was when we started this Winter Bash 3 event. He's cleaning things up as we go, for sure. And he definitely has had practice in the past, though maybe not exactly this year. He's got a lot of the most well optimized things in that brain. Yeah, so we had a little herding snafu. Clearly keeping the pigs all off to the side doesn't always work anyways. I do that so that it's easier to keep track of what you have, and so your villagers don't just instantly auto kill them like 3 in a row at the same time when they finish one.
Like,
It's way easier for them to get stolen, and as you can see, they still just will automatically do nonsense like this. So I don't think this is really the best way to do it. I'm still working on my play there, but there's a lot of pigs to keep track of. I'll say that much.
I'll be back in just a second.
All right. So this map is one of many mega random maps that you can get. There are, I don't know, Spirit of the Law did a very solid in-depth video about how mega random map generation works. And there are, I want to say, like maybe 30 different random map scripts that can generate. One of them is this, with the 2 lakes, or the 2 rivers, and the crossing in the middle, and the narrow connection here. And then on top of that, it applies like the biome that can be completely random. So this potentially could be like ice too, and it applies like any like low chance that you might spawn into the map with buildings already pre-existing, or like towers, or like 2 scouts, or horses as scouts, or what have you. This is pretty tame. This seems like a standard situation. As far as most of the things go, the resources are insane though, like Cam was saying. With this map gen, the instant I saw the crossing here and the connection here, I was thinking, all right, I know what to do on this map. In order to get ahead, you have to get to the outside. So the plan will definitely be another town center on the outside, take these resources, boom, and a little bit more space out there.
Yeah.
TomBombadil going for a early palisade wall on the only choke point you got. This is a smart move.
Yeah, I think.
Regardless of whether you're going to move out and start doing eco on the outside areas.
Yeah, that's going to
walling off that choke is solid.
It's definitely going to give him time to just get his own bases and defenses set up. It's going to keep him safe. It's going to make sure that nothing happens. So good play. The big
Purple,
thing is that, go ahead.
I want to say I'm going for a scout rush now. TomBombadil knows this. He has seen my stable, so the walls are even more important here. And I've actually set this scout on stand to try to block it, but now we only get 1 scout in, and he gets enough taps on that wall to be able to deny any further aggression. Might kill a villager. Could be worth. So 1 villager down, and I'm actually gonna keep producing scouts. Do I cancel these? I think the move here would be to cancel scouts completely and just go for Castle Age as quickly as possible, because it's clear now that that's what he's doing, especially if I see the market and the blacksmith here.
And he's going to be setting up, he's going to make sure that that avenue of entrance is cut off, so he's going to stop, so it negates the scout rush.
I think something TomBombadil does really well, and this might just be coincidence, but it happened in our last set versus each other as well on Arena, is just use his scout to distract the opponent's vision. Like right now, I still don't know that there's a blacksmith and a market up there because he attacked my scout in the middle and now he's running away behind my base. So I think I gotta give him credit for that. It's a really smart play.
He's just keeping you occupied, making sure that you can't go and see what he has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that I think that would be interesting to see would be, there's not too many fisheries out in the water, but taking advantage of the docks as another means for transport, as well as if they were confident enough, you could also use them as a means of attack as well.
Yeah, water control of like the crossing here would be really strong. I don't think it's worth fishing. Most mega random generations are really weirdly stingy with the deep water fish, so you gotta at least be able to see some deep water fish before like committing to doing a bunch of fishing eco with them. But definitely like galleys or what have you could be good. The only thing there would be you have to like drop a dock here.
Yeah,
If you're
you'd
gray,
have
because this will block any ships from going across the
you
exact.
definitely have to establish your position, be confident enough, and be sure that you are well enough ahead in resources to make that play.
Yeah. So TomBombadil definitely has like a bit of an edge in some aspects of how this game is going. Right, he's going up to the next age. He is safe behind the walls. There's no chance of pressure. T-Bird here does have more villagers, but that's kind of what you'd expect for somebody who's slower to the next age, as long as they keep their town center working, right? You're going to have more villas because your town center is not aging up, it's producing villas. Also going for some sort of haphazard building walls along those choke points by the crossing. And there's the blacksmith, so... Oh my gosh, why did I click on that? Clicked on the map there, sorry chat. There's the blacksmith, which will unlock the ability to age up for pink as well. Behind this age up, what TomBombadil is doing now is gonna drop a stable.
Oh, I just noticed Tom's in the next stage already, and you are getting ready to age up as well. So
Yeah, so very slow play from pink here.
yeah,
I guess your enemy turtles up like this, it's somewhat safe as long as you get the timing right to play a little bit more eco-focused rather than tech, and just go for a few more vills before you get up to that next age. We are now like I'm getting worried, right? Because he's been in Castle Age for like quite a while. He's getting bloodlines before any knights and a bunch of upgrades, so he's not actually going to be moving out, but you don't know that as a player, so I'm like forcing down these walls. I'm trying to click behind the gate in the house and get these walls like at least blocking before he gets the knights out.
and you know, so one thing I will say is really just, you know, you mentioned that you're panicking, so I think it's really important that you do have some scouting going on to ensure that you're not going to be caught off guard. You know, all the walls prevent you from doing that. You are kind of keeping an eye on that entrance and making sure nothing's coming through. He's not building a gate. He's not building anything to send at you. So it just and if
This
you
one
know
scout,
enough,
able to see like the entire crossing here.
Yeah.
As Lithuanians, it's like very telegraphed. If you pick Lithuanians, you will be using knights and late distant cavalry. So it's like you just know that if you're playing against a Lithuanian player, it's probably going to be cav unless they do some strange like change up thing. So far, just massing a few more knights for Tom. Villager count has evened up. I actually have less now. Must have had some idle TC time there. Actually, we can check that, right? Or maybe it was a research of some kind. 49 seconds, 133.
Camel Riders out for you, some pikemen. But right now, the state of the game has certainly slowed down a little bit. Both of you guys just taking your time, building up.
So I haven't actually seen any knights yet, right? Purple has not seen any units from Gray. But again, like I was saying, Lithuanians. So you're going to make camels against Lithuanians. It just makes sense.
Now you're starting to move out onto the map to take advantage of those resources that are out there, which is, again, good idea. Because, again, you're stuck on your little island for too long. You're gonna run out of resources. You're going to run out of options as to where you can go. So moving out, expanding to those other areas, well, it'll give you better map control, access to more resources, and will put you hopefully ahead of the other player.
I'm also scouting with my remaining scout, just try to see if he is doing the same thing, moving out and taking this. TomBombadil has dropped just another TC at home, which is, I think, actually totally okay on this map. There's so much res here. The only thing you might run out of is wood, honestly, without going like super late game. But I think it's just real nice to be able to have economy in a different spot. It's still protected by town center.
Moving those villagers to the left across that little inlet was certainly, I'd say it worked out, but it could have been risky if he had seen it, so he would have known that you would have been moving off to the mainland. So it paid off. You got those villagers there in time, but I guess a safer maybe a safer, some more resource-inducing way would have been to actually make a dock and transport ship and then ship it across to the other side.
Yeah.
It would have been a roundabout way of doing it, but it would have been a safe way, and it would have made sure those guys stayed alive.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is a little risky, but we do have. Actually, we're both coming out a little bit to the middle at the same time here. Reminder, I don't see that happening. I don't know there's a gate there yet. 11 knights for TomBombadil. The Lithuanians with their knights. Trying to click on 1 to see. Okay, it's 10 plus 2. I don't think he has collected any relics. There's no monastery out yet.
And the knights are there.
He's gonna scout around here, try to see if there's any way through.
And it looks like they're. Oh nope, yeah, that area walled off. It looks like he is going to attack. That's a really.
That's a really nice little spot because you can only get like 2 knights in there at most.
Yeah,
right?
I'd say that if it doesn't play it right, it's a really dangerous choke point as well.
That's why markets are like, I guess they have 2100 health, which is a little bit higher than a lot of other buildings, but they're so big you can get so many units across attacking it at the same time. So I'm just gonna try to build a bunch of houses behind this. We'll see if it works out. Market's going down, but I think we get enough taps on there to at least block mobility, but not enough to stop him from just bashing it down because buildings take extra damage if they're not completed.
Camel riders, right now you guys are take a bit, going back and forth. And
the camel riders are like the counter to knights, the mounted counter. So this will be a really good fight.
Yep,
for
coming
purple.
out on top here, just cutting through those knights, coming out with minimal losses, and Tom really losing, I want to say maybe 75% of those units right, those little force right there, and gonna chase around the rest of the map.
Just chasing those 3 around. I guess he's getting some good scouting from this. I guess in that situation when you see that many camel riders as a knight civ, you just want to back up, try to make some spears maybe or some other counter unit to those. And use your knight's mobility to just like move around the map instead of taking the fight. But so it goes.
Good play on Tom's part to make the most of the situation. You mentioned it. He's scouting around, just taking what he has left to scout around, see what you have, try to figure out what the next play is going to be.
So now purple going for 2 archery ranges. Maybe not necessarily what you'd expect to see into knights, but that's because you are uncultured. You don't expect cavalry archers. Sorry, I'm a little bit of a cavalry archer fanatic these days. Big fan. So now TomBombadil switching into pikemen. So 1 upgrade into that line from spearmen, but they don't have any armor. They do have both attack upgrades though, so that is going to be a little bit spooky for any kind of camel riders. I guess we have mangonels to, I think the plan is to break through the gates.
And Tom dropping another TC in his base to take advantage of the wood line, making get some more resources there. I mean, maybe. I definitely think he could take advantage of, again, the big thing is the wood right there and with his production, but at some point he is going to have to start thinking about moving off that island to take advantage of the resources on the outside.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, this map gen probably comes as much more of a surprise to him than it does to me.
Yeah, and
fortunately, I just kind of got lucky already of having seen it before.
Yeah, and I think a big
Mega Random.
I think a big thing with any RTS is the importance of knowing when to go out and expand and doing it soon enough that your opponent doesn't take advantage of those resources. Because I've lost plenty of games in, say, RA3 or even AoE 2 where I don't get out enough units or I don't expand fast enough and they start taking advantage of the resources, the gold or the wood or whatever, and I'm already falling behind, and because they have access to more resources, we're gonna fight.
Looks like Tom wanted to drop a castle here. I don't think there's actually a spot that it would fit. I don't think you can build on the marshy terrain.
Yeah, good move with the mangonel to try to get those clumped up units, try to take them out, and I think you have some good. He's gonna try to.
Now we're gonna have to kite these spears.
Yeah, but I think you've got enough units to deal with those. Again, good effort on Tom's part, but you've got too much. You've got Again,
Okay,
good
so-
shot. Good shots with the Mega to cover those clumps of units there. So really good placement there.
He's just gonna go for the castle at home instead. And you can see I'm actually out here with the scout. Like, I'm so suspicious that he has eco out in the rest of the map. So
No,
far.
and that's a really good play on your part is to just scout around, take a look, make sure that he doesn't have anything in the back that's going to catch you off guard. So really well done scouting that out.
So this is pretty funny. I don't actually know that castle exists yet, and I'm gonna try to castle drop.
Oh no!
right on his doorstep.
Oh,
so that
no.
might be a little iffy. Fortunately, no ballistics for Gray. Why would you need that as
Either way,
Lithuanians?
that does slow your advance. It's going to be
Maybe slow down a little bit there.
It's gonna take a little bit longer to get to where you need to be, but so
I think there's just enough space here that
yeah,
we don't have the here. I could turn it on for a minute, but it's like annoying, right? The range circles. Chat, let me know if this is like too annoying. This is the range of the castle, right? So it can range the castle foundation, but not the villagers. And that's totally fine for a castle. Oh my gosh, it works on units too.
Wow! Holy
That's crazy. If only it wasn't an insanely saturated, like purple color.
Gotta make it lighter.
That's kind of cool. Actually, I might leave that on.
Yeah, but the good part.
It shows. What the heck? Step lancers have +1 range, so on their melee attack, so it also shows that. Wow. Who knew? Not me.
But good on Tom for making the most of that situation. You know, just being unable to press that it move out.
And again, sort of like I mentioned this in the last cast between us on that arena game. TomBombadil with a solid economy production. He's ahead in villagers right now.
Yeah, and I think. Oh, and he does have a dock, so he's gonna. He does have a dock, so he's gonna like, and it does have a transport ship, so he's gonna maybe try to move out to another part of the mainland and take advantage of some more resources. And
yeah. See if we scout that. We do. So purple knows about the dock and the transport. If I like look back there, I guess. So we're a little busy right now.
True. It's scouted, but the problem is, are you focused enough on it right now? Because you're focusing on another.
Focusing on getting in on one tile.
Oh no, the wall does not go up in time. You're gonna get those units, and you are going to start wreaking havoc on that base. Oh, the wall does go up, so it's gonna prevent the other units from getting in.
So there's a quick town bell.
The damage might be done. You're on right through both of those town centers. Oh man. Oh
okay,
no.
He's 2 to 5 right now. I think he killed a couple of vills on this castle.
Oh man.
The ram is just gonna do its thing, and we're just doing some raiding. And now this is kind of where the game is sort of turning on its head a little bit. Second defensive castle for Gray.
Really starting to roll in your favor right now. You're just pressing your advantage. He does have that docks up, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get units over to it in time. He's got to start moving there. Your step lancers.
See, all this damage, and he's only just below worker count still. It's been really strong worker production. I gotta say it again.
Yeah. The only problem right now is that Tom is just he's stuck there. He's stuck on that island, and he's.
We got vills in the transport.
Okay, so the question is, where is he going to move them? He's got to figure out where they need to go in order to be safe. I mean,
let's see the purple vision here.
Yeah. He did lose most of the step lancers that were inside there, but he did a good job of just wrecking some havoc there.
Sending all those vills in.
University
coming through for Gray. And Army Comp is just camel riders. I guess we're just kind of throwing a lot of stuff at the wall. Moving mostly into step lancers, Mangudai. I don't even know. Mostly step lancers. Look at these guys. They're trapped back here. What is going on with this? Okay. TomBombadil has transported across. My scout comes across at just the perfect time for me. Terrible time for him, unfortunately. And we see that. Keshik also in the mix.
So you do know that he has, if you saw it, you do know that he has moved some units off to the mainland, and you're going to send some units over there to deal with them. A good catch.
So, there we go. Let's see if he... I mean, so he knows that I know this is happening, right?
Yep, and you're going to...
So he's probably going to try to wall this off. This is a little bit... Ooh, unfortunate again on that placement.
The timing, man. If you had done a little closer. units are dead. Oh no, the boat leaves them on the mainland.
Leaves them to their fate.
Oh no, oh no. Yeah, unfortunately, oh man. Tom's got it. Yeah, looking at his economy, he's booming, he's got all those TCs, he's got the farms going, it's just, he's stuck on that mainland, and he's really crippled right now. He's got him stuck there, and that's really unfortunate for him.
He's gonna get that wall up, so that one villager, oh, maybe survives.
The lone villager can get a TC up, maybe.
We are almost to Imperial Age for purple, though.
Yeah.
That will mean trebuchets on top of these rams.
You have access to Cape Rams, is that right?
Yeah, we have access to capped rams in the Imperial Age, though.
Yeah.
All you can get in Castle are the old defaults.
Yeah.
Battering rams.
Not looking too good for Tom right now. You got him.
Did he wall? He is so close to walling this guy in. He's one tap on that palisade and he's stuck. Oh, never mind. It goes down. Nice attempt there, though. The camels are running in for the seed. Wait a minute. Chad, I'm so blind. TomBombadil has been in Imperial for a while, too, actually. I didn't even realize. When did that happen? This is actually such a good play. I think maybe not losing the villas back here.
Yeah, 37, 38 minute mark. Wow, that's pretty good.
Say. So he gets there like roughly when Pink just clicks it.
Yeah, it sucks.
But it looks like,
you know, despite him in the position he's in, he's still finding the time to get the resources he needs to age up to go to the next age.
Yeah.
The only major downside ultimately is that he's in such a sticky position. It's what is he gonna do with it? And
true. I think the pressure there kind of got the better of Gray. Because looking at these resources, the Trebs with some army support would have been pretty hard to take care of, and having such an advantage in timing to Imp, he would have been able to clean up the castle here at least and been able to push out.
He would have been able to push back. He would have been able to give himself some breathing room, and he probably would have, and it might have given him a chance to get a foothold on the mainland too. But
just as it goes, camels were able to dive in under the castle fire and take out those Trebs.
It was
like
the
3 or 4 out.
It was the hump he couldn't get over.
I guess maybe part of it is like, what unit do you really make right now as the Lithuanians, right? More spearmen, but then there's cav archers. So then, I don't know, spearman skirmisher, but it's weird. Also, Tom is kind of running out of wood. This is his last wood.
Yeah.
Other than transporting over, but
they mentioned that early on in the game is that one of the downsides to that island is that there's only so much wood that you can use, and by the time he got to that wood line, it would have been too late. So it really does. You did a really good job of keeping him stuck on that island and preventing him from getting more resources. So really good. Again, but Tom did. Again, you mentioned before, Tom did a really good job of making use of what he had. And I think if he had more time, if he had maybe some more units to work with those Trebs, he could have made the game last a bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, another really strong early game into Castle from TomBombadil, I gotta say. GG. For real. He's improving. He's cleaning that rust off.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Fish Speaker says, good game from both players there. Thank you. I'll self-congratulate. Definitely economic advantage for Gray up until the end, even. It's just, I think more about the timing and how many T90 videos I've watched recently. But on to the next. We are going straight into the next game of the set. T-Bird versus TomBombadil. Again, Pink versus Gray. T-Bird not able to play Mongols if you wanted to, if I wanted to again, because I won with them in this set. So gonna have to switch it up. I've actually decided to go for the Chinese here. And TomBombadil, we've seen him pick the Ethiopians before, so he may have some plans with that. But we are here on Nomad, TomBombadil's home map for this map draft, and he's playing it pretty clean. He's watched some guides or some games of like pro quality with the dot coming down early and the really fast TC drop as well. You got to get that town center down pretty quick, regardless of where you end up. Who won the first one? this guy right here. Game 1, of course, tbird taking that with the Mongols versus Lithuanians on Mega Random. Had a little bit more experience, a little bit more YouTube video knowledge of that Mega Random map. Now we're on a little bit more of a, I guess, predictable. I don't know. These are some pretty unpredictable map picks as far as how the game will play out, I guess. I don't know. It's Nomad. It's Nomad is what I'm trying to say. Town center goes down anywhere and everywhere. Both players with pretty good spots. TomBombadil does have this boar if he wants to take it, I guess, but he also has the ibex. He's going to opt for that first right now, and plenty of pigs and the berries too, so pretty nice there from him. Looks like tbird in the pink with one boar close by. I'm still a little bit shaky on how you're supposed to get everything going, because the ideal is you want to get as much fishing ship production going as possible, right? But in order to do that, you have to have villagers on wood. In order to not idle your town center, you have to have somebody taking food before the fishing ships ramp up. So it's just kind of eyeballing things here. Maybe TomBombadil has a better idea of how things are supposed to work on Nomad with 4 on food right now. 2, now I think that town center is rallied to that wood line. And he's just going to work his way up to the fishing ships. He's also getting loom in order to buy some time to get enough food. I really don't like this dock position from TomBombadil, I have to say it. I think this is pretty poor as far as dock positions goes, because it's in this little inlet, so you're going to have one fish, and then you're going to have to sail a long ways to get to the big outer rim. This is also not great from me, but it's not like it's not in the inlet quite as much.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a little bit more access there. There's always the option to redock as well if players have the multitasking to be able to handle that. But for now, I think it's 11:10 on the villager count because I have not gotten loom yet. And TomBombadil just like has a villager out here on the right side, like building houses. It's quite interesting, and I think he's actually using that villager to just scout the map as well as collect pigs.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Again, take advantage of the resources you have. May as well use it.
Pink is kind of just completely in the dark here. I think I'm going out now to try to find more food because I'm like kind of in dire straits as far as that goes. A lot of pro players will use the pigs that they find to like scout around the edges of the map until they disappear because they got collected by the enemy player, just in order to find out where the enemy is. For example, like if I sent a pig, that's a bad example. If I had a pig right here and I sent it around the edge, then I would be able to find out where TomBombadil's dock is, because in Nomad, it can be pretty hard to know where the enemy player has docked, because you just generally do it with like one of your starting 3 vills, regardless of where your town center ends up. So that can be a valuable bit of information to have. But TomBombadil's still walking around with this vill. I'm like doing circles looking for pigs right now. I do have a few fishing ships out for both though. Housed? Excuse me, can I get a housed in the chat? Any housers? It's so hard. It takes so much more attention to be able to make enough houses with the fishing ships as well. It's crazy. It really is a whole other thing you need to practice. That's why a lot of people don't like playing water maps. TomBombadil also like shot this ibex for some reason at like the very start of the game, so it's been decaying slowly ever since. Might have just clicked on that by coincidence. Now, Pink idling some villagers, waiting for this pig to come back, and moving out to that mill. So far, it's looking pretty even. A little bit more on wood, like a lot more focus on wood for T-Bird. Will lead to more fishing ship production, though. Should snowball into some more economic advantages later on. There is plenty of fish out here in the deep seas. Now we're going for a couple of farms. Seems a little sus. Seems a little odd. We'll allow it. Just from a Scout Rush build order practicer, I guess we'll have to allow it. TomBombadil hasn't seen the enemy town center yet. And he's pulling a boar from super far too. Impressive stuff. Let's see if this Ville survives. I think it'll be fine. He's got loom. Yeah, oh no. Yeah, this wasn't even a question. He has loom. He's fine. He's all good. Doesn't even need the garrison due to the boar being so confused he can't even pass. And this has turned into fairly standard feudal gameplay now on a mixed map, right? We got the nomad jitters out of the way. Eco balance can kind of come back. It's actually, I guess it's 6 fishing ships for one, 3 for the other. TomBombadil going to go ahead and do some walling. He knows that the pink base is somewhere down here. He's seen villagers. I don't know if he's actually seen that farm or if it's a capture age bug, but he can see the ibex that are dead here if he looks for them too, so he's aware of the state of the map right now. It's a pretty good read for him to wall off these choke points as well. And just move on to that gold. While aging up to feudal means this is going to be a fast castle attempt, it looks like. Also on gold for T-Bird. Well, actually, maybe not. You know what? Ethiopians, Archer Civ. Chinese, Archer Civ. These players, I mean, I know what my intentions were at the time. TomBombadil probably also. You gotta mine gold to make archers, right? Because they cost gold. So, could be, in fact, likely is just archer play. A little bit late on the barracks for Gray, but he's working on it.
What was your reason for picking the Chinese this round, Tyler?
Well, I knew it was going to be mega random, and I knew that... Hang on. We're going to have another pause in our watch along here while I try to remember, because I didn't point it out at the time. I knew that Chinese were strong on... I knew it was going to be Nomad. Man, I keep mixing these map names up. I knew that Chinese were going to be strong on Nomad just because I just kind of have heard that before, but it's because they get 3 extra villagers when the town center completes. So,
and you wanted an advantage going in with knowing you played Nomad, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we both knew that was the map that was going to be, but I was just kind of trying to think of what civs I've heard that are good on this map, and I wanted to give Chinese a shot. It's a little different too, you know. Most of these games, TomBombadil versus myself, have been like Scout Rush civs, Mongols, what have you. So this is here comes the archery range for Gray. Now we're a little slow on Pink's side. We actually are going for the archery range. Looks like, okay, nah, again, a little bit blind here. T-Bird going for that fast castle, in fact, with 3 villagers on gold, able to click up pretty darn quickly after hitting the feudal age. TomBombadil is looking like more of a feudal age military play here. See if he's able to get any damage done. In the meantime, the fishing ships have had to move quite a ways out there to find the next fish. And I think this guy's trying to do another dock, but there's like definitely nowhere near enough wood for him to do that. So he's just having a little beach day. He's just splashing in the water. Oh, we clicked them. And looks like just going for some houses on choke points as well. Here's the archery range for Pink. And it looks like This kind of looks like a cav archer because you need castle age in order to make cav archers, but I don't think that's really the Chinese deal. I don't think they're really all about that, so it could just be. I don't know. I guess I just knew I was safe enough to be just able to go castle age and make units after that instead of defending in feudal. Tom says, "Oh darn." I hit him with a little smiley face. Oh damn. Not caught by the chat filter in game, so that means I can say it on Twitch. But they will catch Ram Ranch. Unbelievable. Silly Seth, we did not do your games yet. No, sir. They are still coming up. Good to see you here in the chat. This is the, I guess you can see on the top banner there, second game in the TomBombadil versus tbird rematch, best of 3. I won the first one. We'll see if I can repeat my success here. Score is looking good for pink. Could just be the water control. There are a lot more fishing ships out. And the TomBombadil is a little housed. Worker count is actually almost identical, so. Made homemade ramen with a ton of friends tonight, but now I can watch here and there. That's awesome. That sounds like so much fun. Sounds like a lot of work too. Did you make the broth or did you buy the broth? That's what I want to know. Oh, pink actually sent a fire ship out as well. Couple fire ships.
Yeah, good play.
Why not? You know your opponent is going to be fishing on this map, so let's go for it.
Yeah, good play because that's going to hopefully slow him down on his resources. Going to have him divert elsewhere to make sure he doesn't lose those fishing ships, so he doesn't lose the food that he's getting. So really good play to slow him down.
Second TC for pink. Gonna try to solidify the tech advantage, reaching castle age before the enemy and dropping that town center. Pretty hard to get enough wood to do all of these things, right? With the docks and the archery ranges and the TCs and what have you, but we're doing it for now. I think I actually set the gather point for the dock up here, so these fishing ships are now like just randomly out in the middle of nowhere. But maybe they'll get some exotic fish while they're out there, who knows? TomBombadil does have a lot of archers here. And we don't see that yet on purple's side. It's
they're gonna walk past them, so don't see. So the archer's gonna remain hidden, and
I think chat. I'm gonna pause again and try to go back because I want to be able to understand this effectively. But I think when did we? No, you know what? Okay, so he has archer. No, those are my archers. All right. So at this point, pink knows that there's an archery range. Sorry to mess up with the flow of the game again, but I wanted to be able to explain. And I think at this point also I checked the tech tree for the Ethiopians and saw that they were labeled as an archery civ at the very least. So we were getting a siege workshop down, and looks like I was maybe gonna make a scorpion, but we're just gonna go for a battering ram instead. Scorpions are pretty good against archers. TomBombadil gonna move out now as he's dropping the second TC. Definitely has the military advantage. Looking pretty unfortunate for him as far as villagers go, though.
But doesn't want to engage just yet. Still playing a little safe, not wanting to fully commit just yet, which is not a bad idea. Just because he doesn't know what you have, so doesn't want to push it more than he has to. And another
incredible
TC,
third TC.
Yeah, I was gonna say
like
third TC
proxy
for
TC in the north, where nobody's gonna look for it, right?
A really good play. It's safe. It's gonna have access to all those resources, and it gives him another center to. It gives him something else to work with in case his main his main base goes down.
Yeah, I think if his main base goes down, he's in enough trouble that it might already be over at that point. But it is nice to have, and
yeah, something else to fall back on.
Maybe a little risky to move out there without any military support or scouting, but
yeah,
it is definitely paid off for him here in this game.
Yeah.
Skirmishers now for gray are going to push back all of these archers. I guess there are a lot of skirmishers for purple. Here's some nice micro, by the way. Micro versus no micro, right? I guess there is some. But in Age of Empires 2, units don't always auto hit the unit you click on, right? As you can see, we're missing a lot there. Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what? I need to turn off that range thing. It is too much. It is just too much.
Yikes.
So the way that you play it, right, is to shoot and then move and shoot and move and try to dodge your enemy's shots. So these crossbows are pretty strong. We do have a lot of skirmishers in the mix, but the crossbow's gonna miss a lot of shots because they're just standing still. And there it goes. So army a little bit cleared up for Gray for the time being. See what he decides to move into instead, or supplement now. It says, where did my army go? Oh boy.
Oh,
I love the chat. I love the chat.
Not looking good for Tom. He's gonna try to get maybe a unit or two out to deal with these, but you got too many. You've got a good mix of the skirmishers as well as the archers to cover your bases there. So, and you're right now you're just going to town on his base, as well as fire ship out on the water to hopefully take down that dock.
Now, we're both again doing something really smart here. Tom has, especially, if you're getting attacked by ranged units like this, can't hurt to add some siege, add some mangonels. That'll push back this entire army, right? If I ever come in contact with one mangonel from there, I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. So, very smart move, and not too much damage taken from TomBombadil right now, besides like the unfortunate army engagement there.
I think right now the good thing that Tom isn't doing is panicking and rushing around and trying to get the villagers to safety. He's still farming, he's still getting his resources. It is looking a little rough for him right now.
I think the major difference is the fishing economy is adding a lot. So the villager count difference is, I guess it's still 56 to 34. Maybe that TC idle time is catching up with them a little bit.
Tom trying to get an emergency castle down to maybe halt this advance a little bit.
Good play.
Yep, I think that's the right call at this point. You're pushing him hard, so he's gonna have to do something to defend himself, and I think this is the best way to do it right now. It's gonna slow you down and hopefully give him time to build back up again.
Now, I'm not sure. I guess I wouldn't be able to explain. Oh, castle goes up, takes down one mangonel. I guess I wouldn't be able to explain this anyways if it was a different player, but I'm trying to remember what my thought process was behind making knights here. I think it was just thinking ahead into what would he make against this many skirmishers, and the answer obviously is mangonels. And also it's harder to raid with like skirms or what have you, so knights are going to just run in and try to do a little bit of damage and cause a little bit of chaos, maybe take out a mangonel or two. As we just go for a different angle of attack. Since this castle is defending this area, well, we'll just push on a different area. So, let's see. I think it's interesting to see a lot fewer villagers from TomBombadil this game. I wonder if he was having food problems or something the whole time. It's a little bit unusual. I guess it's a lot of pressure too to deal with.
Yeah.
Right on your face. So that can make any player get a little less perfect.
I mean, it's hard to know what to do in that situation. You are trying to farm, you're trying to build up, you're trying to get your resources going, but it's, you know, when you're being hit by being hit by all sides, it's really hard to know what to do. And again, I think that saving grace is that third TC he has up at the top, because
here, I'll actually turn on this again for 1 second. Maybe the range circles. That's still kind of annoying. Town centers, unless you're Lithuanians and you research the hill forts technology, can't outrange mangonels. Mangonels always outrange them. So it's very common in the Castle Age, at least, to just try to attack town centers with the mangonel and take it down that way. It's even probably easier than attacking with a ram, because rams can be killed by villagers right under the TC, right? You just pop out, attack, and pop back in. But the mangonel is just sitting back here chilling, so. And the range circles goes back off. We need like a middle ground option. I looked at like a bunch of rods for range circles and stuff because I think they're really helpful, but the capture age options are like way too like intrusive, I guess. But I didn't find anything, unfortunately. The in-game one is good though. So TomBombadil now going for Karambit Warriors. Unfortunately, Shotel Warriors. My apologies. Shotel Warriors, which I guess probably similar to the Karambit based on what we're seeing here. High damage, pretty fast, low cost. Just has to trickle them in because of how much pressure there is right now instead of massing up. I think if he massed up like a good number of them here, would maybe have worked out a little bit better. But
yeah, another castle going down for Tom, just trying to do what he can to keep his main base safe, to maybe see if he can defend, hold you off, but right now it's looking really tough.
Knights are moving around the back line. These two castles will definitely delay things, and he has this base up here, so actually finally purple is building outposts to try to get more vision on the map.
Yep, and you're probably
Something that's really important to do.
Yeah,
if you're like this, you want to make sure your enemy's not sneaking.
Yeah, it's a good play on your part, and you are going to see the
He says war crimes GG. I think he might know that I've spotted this now.
Oh man.
There's a second castle for purple. I was like, well, I got the stone. Why not? It says next week will be different. And I said, look, Mom, watching YouTube pays off after all.
Oh man.
So I think this counts as like a preemptive challenge for another matchup between us. I don't know. he's definitely hinting at something there. Since we can only play against each other unless somebody from A League challenges us. Or if we set up a team game.
It was definitely a rough game for Tom, but
again, another really clean opening and maybe just a little bit more polish to be able to adapt in the mid to late game.
I think with definitely towards the ending, I think Tom was doing the best that he could with that situation, setting up the defenses. He did a good job, not giving in right away, taking his time, trying to get the defense up, seeing if he could do something to hold you off. But I think you were just too far ahead, and that really hurt, and that hurt.
Yeah, but GG. It was well played.
Oh, definitely.
Ultimately, some definitely good things going on there for both. But tbird takes the set again, gaining one more point in the league points system for defending a challenge.
Cleaning up, man. All these points he's getting.
I think I'm up to 2 now. If I had been the one to challenge him, maybe I would have got 4 points by now. You never know. Looks like I want to see one stat that matters a lot in this game is resources collected. So I think definitely pulling ahead there. Just generally able to keep up with a little bit more of a chaotic game on Nomad, I think something that really helped me in this game was queuing in ranked team games and also just some quick match games, and just unfortunately ending up on Nomad with I think you a couple times, Cam, and with Fish Speaker a couple times. I think we lost every game on Nomad.
Yes, Tyler, we did.
But it was an experience that I took a lot away from and was able to think through a little more methodically how to play the map. So